everyone, this is Shammy. Welcome to my channel. And if you are somebody who's planning to travel long term around the world, many countries, this video is for you. When we talk about a long travel, long comfortable travel, we have some tips because I have traveled almost 800 cities across the globe and for many years. So I have accumulated a lot of experience that I'm going to share with you today. Without further ado, let's dive in. Tip number one is planning. Planning is the key, but I do not believe in detailed itinerary because when we plan detailed itinerary, most likely it's not going to happen. But you should have an idea that what you are going to do, which country you are going to travel, whether you need a visa for that, and if you need a visa that you have to apply for that country from your home country, that cannot be applied from any other country, then you have to plan accordingly. For instance, I live in Bangladesh, and from Bangladesh we have borders with India and Myanmar. With India we have multiple borders, and a lot of travelers, they come to Bangladesh and they apply for visa for India from my country, but they want to travel to Myanmar as well, but they cannot travel to Myanmar because we have some diplomatic difficulties with Myanmar and they have stopped the flights. Although we have border with them, but you cannot cross that border. We have two border points, but nobody can cross those border points. So what is the point? So if you want to travel to Myanmar, you have to either enter from India or go by flight from any other country, and that is the plan. But you cannot also apply visa for Myanmar from my country. So these are the difficulties you have to keep in mind. You have to do your research, which country you are from, what is your passport looks like, how many visas you can go travel free, or whether you need a visa for that country or not, and whether you want to apply visa from your home country or not. So a basic plan should be there, but you do not have to do detailed planning that what you are going to do in the country. I prefer go with the flow because that will give you the most best experience they can ever imagine. Tip number two, book flights in advance. If you book flights in advance, you can buy the flight at a very cheaper price, but if you are booking last minute, the price can be really high, and probably you don't want to travel with an expensive flight because that is gonna break your bank. Try to plan your flights in advance so you can get better deal. And yeah. Tip number three, pack wisely. Packing is very important when you are on a long travel. So normally I go on a trip minimum a month, and I go typically 4 seasons because I don't know which city I'm going to and what kind of weather I will have to encounter. So planning 4 seasons is the key, and also when you are traveling on a long term, you do not want to carry a heavy luggage. So better to go for a carry-on, and when you are going for a carry-on luggage only, you have to pack really smart. You have to think about what is important to you and what you cannot live without, and that you have to pack accordingly, and you also have to coordinate your clothes. So packing is a great thing, and I love packing. I have many packing videos in my channel. I'm going to link all of them. Please take a look if you want to. Tip number 4, technology and communication. We live in 21st century and we have many gadgets. We have smartphones, we have earbuds, we have laptop, we have tablets. So try to travel with an unlocked phone that is doable, workable in many countries or countries around the world. Because if you travel with an iPhone that is not unlocked for most of the countries in the world, most likely you will not be able to use that phone in that country. So try to travel with a phone or a laptop or a tablet that is unlocked globally. So also you have to think about like whether you want to use a eSIM or you want to purchase SIM card from that local country, or you want to use your international roaming package. Sometimes I use my international roaming package if that gives me a better deal to the country I'm traveling to, or sometimes I prefer going for eSIM. So I use YESIM. eSIM is one of the best I have found so far. Holafy is also very good. They give a very good package in many different countries. Depending on whichever country you're traveling to, please choose your package accordingly so you can stay connected all the time. Also, before you travel to a country, whether you have a SIM card or internet connections or not, try to download the offline map in that country on your Google map. That will save a lot of time and hassle and a lot of problems. Tip number 5 is financial planning. When you are on a long trip, finance is the most important thing that you have to keep in mind. Whatever money you have in your bank account, you should split it into different bank accounts, like couple of different bank accounts, couple of different credit cards, couple of different places to store your cash. When you are on a long travel, you don't want your finance to go lost and you are gonna stuck in travel. I have heard from one traveler that he was in a country and he had no embassy there, and he has lost his passport, his debit cards, credit cards, and all his cash. crash at the same time and it was a disaster for him. So you don't want to be stuck in the same situation. So always store your cashes in different places, so even you lost something, you still have some portion to survive. And also split your debit card, credit card into different places, and keep in mind that you should use a RFID wallet, because these days there are a lot of scammers and they take your information without you knowing it, and then you lose all your money at one go. So be careful, be prepared for any situation, and happy travel. Tip number 6 is budgeting. Budgeting is super important when you are traveling, because you have to keep in mind how much money you are spending every day, how much money you are spending in 1 month, how much money is left, and how many months more are there, how many air travel you can take, how many luxury you can actually afford. So budgeting is a super important thing. So normally what we do when we go to a country, we budget per day. So per day maybe I want to spend $10, and my accommodation, my fooding, my commute, my transportation, everything should be included in this $10 like for a month, or maybe 20 days or 15 days, whatever time period I'm in that country. So country to country definitely varies. In many Asian countries, lifestyle is very cheap, so you don't have to probably worry much when you are in the Asian countries or in the poor countries. But you are in Europe, US, you have to keep in mind that lifestyle is very expensive there, and you have to definitely cross check your budget at every single day or at least every single week. Tip number 7, stay organized. When you are on a travel, documentation or staying organized is the key, because when you are on travel, you are moving from one place to another place every single day, and having your documentation organized will help you in the long run. Your everything should be digitally saved somewhere in your hard drive, in your Google Drive or your phone. Also, you should have some hard copy of your visa copy of your passport, couple of different passport size pictures or stamp size pictures, and maybe if you are going to a specific country, then you can also check like what size of photo they use. So you can carry your photos, whatever necessity comes up, you can use that photo. So maybe you are applying visa from that country and the embassy has specific requirement for the visa. You can carry that visa photo in advance, so you don't have to look for a studio at the last minute. And your national ID card, your driving license, everything should have digital copy, also a photocopy or a Xerox copy, and definitely the original copy. But don't carry all the ID at one go. You don't necessarily need to carry your passport every day. You can keep it in a safe place, and you can carry your passport photocopy or Xerox copy with you. If somewhere you need to show them, you can just show your digital copy. In that case, you will have less chances to lose your passport or your valuable documentations. Tip number 8, accommodation planning. Book your accommodation in advance. Don't look for last minute thing. If you're traveling to a new country, book your accommodation in advance, and you have to have that address saved on your phone or in a notebook, because sometimes the immigration asks for the address to enter into that country, and if you don't have it, you will probably struggle because you do not have the internet connection on your phone to look for that address at the last minute. Also, if you don't have a accommodation booked, if you're staying with a friend, just make sure that your friend has given you the Google map and the address in full version, so you can use that address in your immigration. But it's nice to ask your friend in advance that whether if the immigration asks me, can I use your address in the immigration, because friend might not like it if you do it without asking that person. So different people are different, so they may not like it. They also might think it's cool, it's okay, no problem. So be prepared. Tip number 9, cultural sensitivity. When you are traveling, you are definitely traveling to a different country, and that different country may have cultural norm or religious norm. So you should not offend anybody when you are traveling, especially you want to make friends on the road. You want to be in people's good books. So if you are traveling to Muslim countries, try to keep in mind that people are relatively conservative and they have like different kinds of dress code. Like I am in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, we do not have specific dress code. I wear jeans and t-shirts all the time, but very revealing clothes are not very appreciated here. So you have to keep that in mind. And if you are trying to enter into religious places like temples, mosques, keep in mind that your dress should be at least knee length or like lower than knee length, and your shoulder has to be covered. So if you are somebody who is always wearing revealing clothes, try to carry a long skirt so you can cover your body as a skirt, and a shirt, so just cover your shoulders and be a little less revealing. But if you're wearing less revealing clothes, most likely you will make friends on the road. So try to keep in mind about the cultural sensitivity and the religious norm. Tip number 10, learn basic phrases. When you're traveling to a different country, they definitely, or they may speak a different language than you speak in your home country or your mother language. So try to learn basic phrases like thank you, sorry, please, and left, right, I'm very hungry, can you give me a change, or shall we go? The basic phrases. So you can use Duolingo, or you can use Google Translate for that, or you can just try online any other app to learn the basic language from that country. Tip number 11, connect with other travelers. When you are traveling to a different country, it's wiser to connect with other travelers who has already traveled to that country before that you may know, or you can also connect with the travelers for traveling to that country during the time you will be traveling. Couchsurfing is a great application for that, where you can post your travel to that city, and other travelers or the local people who are already signed up in that platform can get to know you, and they can connect with you. You can also ask them any question you have, or just meet them, surf with them. I stay with people in Couchsurfing, so mostly I book either Couchsurfing or a hostel because I am an extreme extrovert and I like to connect with people when I'm especially traveling, getting to know them, getting to know their culture in their own way, and most likely travel like a local. So when you are staying in a hotel, you don't really connect with the local people and you don't see how they live their life in that city. So Couchsurfing is a great application for that. I'm a Couchsurfing ambassador. I've been using it for many years and I love it. If you are an extrovert, you should check out that application. Otherwise, you can book an Airbnb or a hotel, and happy travel. Tip number 12, staying healthy. When you're traveling, you should stay healthy, and keep in mind that your health is a priority. If you fall sick, you will not enjoy your travel and you don't have all the comfort when you are traveling, so it will not be easy for you to recover from your illness. I have fallen sick in Malaysia and I hated that trip. I don't even want to remember the memories from that trip because it was a disaster, and I was just staying in the hotel just trying to recover from my illness, and that when I was recovered, I just came back to my country. I did not have the mindset to travel anymore. So staying healthy is really important, and to stay healthy you should do basic workout, you should eat healthy, you should have your routine. Don't try to party every day. You should try to sleep and party. You have to balance it all the time. So keep in mind, staying healthy is your number one priority. Tip number 13, health precaution. When you are traveling, you are staying healthy, which was our last point, but despite you are trying to stay healthy, you have fallen sick. So for that, what you have to do before you travel, you go to your doctor and consult with them whether you are a fit person to go on a travel, especially a long-term travel or not. If your doctor gives you a go ahead, try to buy a travel health insurance. So even you have to be admitted to a hospital when you're traveling, you still get the reimbursement, because some countries can be really expensive. Like when I travel to India, Nepal, I don't really need my health insurance because this country is pretty cheap. But if I'm going to Europe, Australia, I definitely want to have a health insurance, so I am sorted. My health coverage is there, so this is a peace of my mind, and anything goes wrong, I'm not worried. I can just walk into a hospital, get my health check done, and whatever necessity I need to go through, I will be going through, and then boom, I'm sorted. So try to have that sortation in your mind. Never travel to an expensive country with a travel health insurance. Keep that in mind. This is very important. Tip number 14, regular reflections. When you are traveling, you are experiencing new things every single day. You are meeting new people every single day, and your life will be overwhelming. So try to have a journal or some kind of journal. It can be a physical journal, it can be a digital journal, whatever works for you, whatever works for your lifestyle. Have a journal, write it down, whatever you're doing, and once a week try to reflect on your journey, whatever you have been doing so far and whatever you wanted to do in the first place when you started traveling, whether you have achieved that or not. And when we travel alone, especially, we actually grow a lot. So try to monitor your growth, your personal growth, and that will help you to build up your confidence, and that is super important in our personal growth. So try to have a reflection that what you're trying to do. If you're partying too much, you should reflect that, like, I'm partying too much, so next week I'm not doing anything, I'm going slow and easy, and you should rest and recharge yourself. Or if you're not doing that, if you're not partying at all, if you're not going on adventures at all, what is the point you're traveling? So try to also do that sometimes. So I have to have a balance all the time. Whatever you're doing, you are eating junk food and then you're not eating healthy, and you're eating super healthy but you are not trying any local cuisine, which is not good. So try to have a balance all the time and try to make an idea that what is a balance for you. If you're traveling to Thailand, foods are amazing there, but the food is quite spicy for a lot of people. So what I keep in mind that if I'm traveling to a place, I try to eat at a place where absolutely no foreigners, so that is typically genuinely local food because local people are eating that food. Also, when I need to eat the comfort food, I go for the places where I see a lot of foreigners are eating. So this way I keep my balance, and you have to figure out what is a balance for you. Tip number 15, go carry on only. I know. Carry on only luggage is difficult for many of you. Trust me, I was the same. I could not imagine that I'm traveling with such a small suitcase and a personal item only. I can definitely not fit all my clothes, my shoes, and my other necessary items for my travel in that small suitcase. But when I started packing smartly, and I have found out that there are a lot of tips and tricks, and you can repeat your clothes because you can do laundry anywhere in the world and you only need clothes for 1 week. But you have to also pack for 4 seasons because some places can be warm, some places can be rainy, freezing temperature, slightly colder climate. So you need to be prepared for 4 seasons, and once you pack in a tiny bag, you will be much freer. Your mind will be free that you don't have any checked luggage and you may not have to lose that bag. I mean, a lot of people has lost their luggages in the recent years. That's what I have heard, that a lot of airlines has lost their luggages and they're like stuck. But when you have only carry-on, you don't have to worry about that. All your belongings are there in your carry-on. I have many videos packing carry-on only in my channel. Please feel free to check them out. I will link them all in the description box below or somewhere here. Check it out. So thank you for watching our video. That's all we have for you today. Take care. Bye bye. See you soon.